Sue Arcuri is in here this morning and is asked to come in to talk about your mission. You are on a mission to end abortion.
Yes, good morning.
Pull that mic nice and closely.
Yes.
I come in
That's a heck of an iPad,
Isn't
by
it?
the way. My
Yep,
goodness.
that's what happens when you get older and you can't see. I brought with me today my friend Bob Nelson. He's also a pro-lifer, and he's helping us on the mission. He's very instrumental and very spiritual.
Are you one of the people that that stands out over there on Genesee Street?
No, I have not yet.
But you're going to do
But
that?
I do know people that do that.
Why are you? You've never seemed to be on this mission. Why now?
Well, I think it's just come to the point that it's so extreme and it's very, very bothersome. I've always been very spiritual.
Yeah. What is extreme, though? What's extreme?
The extreme is the laws that are being passed.
What laws
that
are
are taken away? For example, the one that just came through the assembly.
Yeah.
Now, it hasn't passed through the Senate yet, but it's the A-1748.
Yeah.
And that bill is so egregious that it allows children that are born prior to this bill being passed, if there was an abortion being performed, and I think I spoke to you about this before.
Well, you were going after Assemblyman Brindisi on this the other day. He said it was actually the bill is something that protects a mother if the mother's life was in danger. You say that's not true.
That's
you tell us
that's not true.
Yeah.
The bill that was.
So do you think he's lying to you about that?
Well, I think that Mr. Brindisi, he knows what that bill is. He's co-sponsored it and he voted for it. And I think sometimes we have a hard time telling the truth because we want to be accepted, especially if we're running for an office or whatever. Right. And I think that he doesn't want to alienate anybody.
All right.
But I do think that within the context of that bill, people are reading it because I've got it out there. We've got it in brochures that we've made up and we're passing them out.
What does the bill do in your eyes? What does the bill do?
Technically, what the bill does is it provides two things that is very concerning. And the first one is, prior to the bill being passed, if a child was being aborted, they were allowed two doctors, one to perform the abortion and another one to sustain life in case they survived that abortion. They have taken that out of there. There's no longer any life-sustaining measures. That baby dies on the table or in a back room in formaldehyde, as was testimony at a congressional hearing by a woman that survived an abortion attempt. Very disturbing. The second
she was the aborted this part I don't understand. If you go in for an abortion,
right,
and you're a young mother or maybe you're an old mother, and you go in for an abortion, and you go in to abort the child,
right.
My feeling would be your sole intention is to abort the pregnancy, right?
Correct.
So why are we even talking about this? I don't understand it. I guess that part I don't understand. You're going in to abort the pregnancy. Right. I would imagine you'd want to be successful in aborting the pregnancy if that is your sole intention of abortion.
Yeah, that is, and that is against God's law. And so
I understand, but God's law is God's law, and our law is different. I'm not a big fan of including religion in politics. Well, I really believe that
politics is based on truth. You know, you can't separate it. You have to have somebody that's responsible in that position as a politician or somebody, a leader.
Let's get back to the part about if I guess this part I don't understand. If you go in for an abortion,
right,
it is New York state law prior to this that there has to be a doctor there to try to save the child?
Yes, that was prior to this bill being passed through the assembly. And
this is current. This has not been enacted into law.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to have somebody
right now
explain that because I don't understand that. So there's a measure that if the abortion isn't successful, there'd be someone there to actually save the aborted.
Absolutely, because they take that Hippocratic oath to life-saving measures. But also on that note, if, for example, there were two nurses there. Normally, I mean, now what they do is they would put the baby in the back room or just let him die on the table. So back then, it was a little bit different where this life-sustaining measures came in. And there were many that survived an abortion.
At what term are we talking about at this point?
You're talking at birth. you're talking at any time during the pregnancy, but mostly now they've extended it.
Is this a late-term abortion issue?
Absolutely.
Is what
This
we're
has
talking
extended the bill
to
be a late-term abortion. And so now we get into that, we can make laws all we want. They're man-made laws. We have to abide by God's law.
Okay, well, that's where I have to stop you, and I don't agree with that. In Albany, I don't want my politicians dictating laws based on religion. In the United States, I don't know if you realize, but in the United States, there's more than one religion. We have multiple religions, and I don't want my politicians being guided by God. I just don't feel that's the way.
The country was founded on God.
I understand that, but let's not get into this whole thing. So what, are you having an event? Can we have, because I don't have a long time for you here today.
But you're saying, Bill, that you don't want a politician, but our Constitution is based on Christian founders who believed in life.
Sue, I'm not going down this road. You told me you had an event that you wanted to publicize. I have your mic shut off. Please don't talk. I have an event. You told. I'm not being rude. You came in under false pretenses. You told me you were going to plug an event. I told you I would allow you to plug the event.
No, we did not say an event. I said I would like to talk to you, and I have the email here.
Okay, what are we plugging? Can you please plug
what
so
I'm
I can move on?
You is what we're doing is trying to get the word out.
I don't want to debate whether there should be abortion in New York or there shouldn't be. I don't want to debate that.
That's the reason why I'm here today, and I can read you the email that I wanted to propose to you why it should be exposed and why this needs to stop. So that was the basis. Not that there was an event planned. I mean, we're out there every single day doing things for
I understand
for the cause.
Can we get to the point and get it over with?
We're at the point.
All right. So it's over. It's over already.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
That was good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I always enjoy conversations with you. We have a long history. If people are kind of wondering.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I came here not as an adversary, but to make peace and just to bring to the listeners the real deep problem.
I just don't see you as having any credibility on the issue. It worries me when you say things.
Why would that be, Bob?
Because
Bill?
Tom, it just bothers me that you say things that I don't know that they're true, and I don't have enough knowledge on the topic. I understand that. I don't have enough knowledge on the topic. I would rather do this if we had someone who's an expert on the topic that actually could tell us, maybe isn't one side or the other, but could actually say, well, what Sue is saying here is true. You do have a history of saying things that are absolutely untrue, and that's what worries me.
No, I don't think so. I think my credibility.
I know you don't think so.
But
based on our history together, I've heard things come out of your mouth that are just false. I'm not going to get into it. But
no, I don't think so. I think I've been 99.9% truthful on everything, and everything's always based on fact. And this bill is here for everybody to see.
Do you see how uncomfortable Manansky is right now? He's extremely uncomfortable.
So here's... Okay, so I'm doing a lot of looking back and forth. So I did some research on this. I guess I didn't realize this was going to be the focus of the discussion.
Nor did I.
I pulled some information that I think is relevant to a conversation about this.
Right.
I think is somewhat interesting. So you had said last week that Assemblyman Brindisi, something to the effect of you can't be Catholic and pro-choice. And I understand that that's your opinion. I understand the church teaches pro-life.
Right.
I just went and looked at some surveys and also some news articles. First of all, I want to I'll include this because I think it's relevant because of the person named. I found a publication called The Stream. It seems very religious, but their mission statement doesn't mention religion. It talks about doing the right thing. But anyway, I'll read you a piece of this. According to statistics compiled by the National Right to Life Committee, 94% of Republican congressional representatives who identify as Catholic have a pro-life voting record. Here's what they found. 82 Catholic Republicans in Congress, 77 of those, this was in 2016, 2 years ago, 77 Republican representatives have voted consistently pro-life. 3 have a mixed record. 1 has voted consistently pro-abortion. That would have been, according to this, Richard Hanna. It mentions the others.
Well, Richard Hanna certainly was. I think he received an award from Planned Parenthood.
It says, according to this, by their standards from the National Right to Life Committee, he voted pro-abortion 89% of the time. There's another New York representative, John Katko, voted 60% of the time pro-life. Okay, I just want to go into another thing because this gets into what Catholics believe. I found 2 separate studies. One was from Pew. I'm trying to pull it up here. This is American Views on Abortion by Religious Group. The average American adult, 57% believe abortion should be legal, 40% believe it should be illegal. For Catholics, that split, I was shocked, is 48-47. It's almost a split right down the middle. Right. So while the church does teach what you are saying, almost 50% of Catholics are torn on this issue. Legislatively, are they pro-life or pro-choice? I have other studies with very similar numbers as well, and this study was published in January of this year.
Okay. I believe that most of that confusion is coming from the church itself. We have some priests that are not conveying the message in the Word of God. So what they're doing is they're diluting the sin. They're telling people you're forgiven. And yes, we are forgiven. God forgives us for everything. But there is a price that we have to pay for that. It's penance. So unless the church is in lockstep with the Catholic Catechism, the Bible, the Word of God, they are misrepresenting and leading people down a different path. So I think that's the confusion. I had to talk with Andrew the other day.
I don't think it's confusion. I hate to say that. I'm sorry, Sue. I don't think this is confusion. I think we see an evolution in many cases of beliefs, whether they be religious or otherwise. I'm sorry, Bill.
That's all right. There are a couple of topics that are not good to get into on the radio because they never go well.
I agree 1,000%.
One of
I
them
was shocked when you said yes to this interview.
I did because I thought she had an event and I didn't want to be.
A lot of events coming up. We're going to have one coming up in. It's only.
And I expected this to be quick in and out, and then I realized that there's.
If I'm bothering you this morning, then
you are. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I mean, I don't want to hold back.
But you bother me every day too. So
I understand, but you keep. But unlike me, you keep coming back for more. I
because this is
don't reach out to listen to you.
It's a good forum to put.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
And whatever forum we can use.
I truly respect. Here's how I want you to at least understand from my mentality. I truly respect people's rights to believe the way they believe, but to make blanket statements. I find difficult because I can't verify when you make blanket statements.
What blanket statement?
Let me just finish, please. I'm not going to debate it. All I'm saying to you is I don't see your credibility where you see it. And when you make statements, I would rather do this at a time when we have someone else who's an expert in the field on both sides so that we can have
right here. It's a Catholic Catechism, it's a Bible, and it's the Word of God. He's the expert.
You're right.
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. And you'll be on your merry way.
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much. It was nice seeing you this morning.
It was great. I'm glad that we're both able to be sarcastic with each other. Makes for pleasantries.
I do appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks.
I think a lot of people, there's a lot of Catholics in this district.
Ready, Bob?
I think there could be.
Why is Bob here?
Bob is here because he's part of this whole life.
You're praying. Well, pray for my soul. I'm sure I need it.
Amen. I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Sue, you and I, we could both have a discussion about. We all do, don't we? Yeah.
We're all sinners.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sinners.
Yep. That we are.